Happy New Year, everybody. This is Angel, El Gallito de la Sierra, aka Crypto Keeper. I do the research that you don't have to. I hope your investments are going well in cryptocurrency. My 9-year-old just stacked up another sweet bag of AMP tokens using his allowance. It's pretty cool to see a 9-year-old invested in cryptocurrency, to be honest with you. I'm teaching my son everything I can possibly teach him so that when I'm gone, he doesn't have to suffer the poverty mentality that exists in the general public. I am equipping my son, my 9-year-old son, with everything he needs to know to make the best, wisest financial investments for him. And everything that I do in my videos, I always do it for educational and awareness purposes. I don't tell you what to do. I just share with you what I do, and I share with you what I share with my own family in terms of crypto investments. So, AMP token. I want to talk a little bit about AMP because I think AMP is going to surprise everyone, especially those who maybe bought AMP with the understanding that AMP was going to be one of those like hype meme tokens that, you know, if they create partnerships and people buy AMP, like the price is going to go up. And you know, that's why you got to do your own research, because AMP is not that kind of token. AMP is not a meme token. AMP is a utility token, a token that is aiming to be used for a payment system that will collateralize the AMP token in order for the merchant to receive payment, whether it be on fiat or other like cryptocurrencies. And, you know, for a year and a half, I've been invested in AMP. I'm getting ready to make another sweet purchase on AMP. Now that the market has dumped and it's gotten, if Bitcoin gets below 38,000, I think I'm going to just pull the trigger and do a sweet investment in AMP, because AMP is sitting around 0.0434. Sorry. Yeah, 4 cents. Like just around 4 cents. And to me, AMP anywhere between 3 and 4 cents is a great entry point for me. And so, yeah, AMP over the course of 2021 hasn't really done a whole lot, especially in the last maybe 7-8 months. It's been very stagnant. Not a whole lot of activity. Whether Bitcoin goes to like 55,000 and you know, it was like at 58,000 2-3 months ago, and AMP just went up to like about 7 cents, 6 cents, and it just didn't take long before it was down to like, you know, higher 5 cents. Anyhow, I really like that. I like the fact that AMP could be one of those cryptos that didn't go from 5 cents to like 1 penny, like other cryptocurrencies do. You know, they devalue so much that Doge is a perfect example of that. Doge, its all-time highs was like 70 cents, and then went down to like 40 cents, went down to like 30 cents, and it hasn't been able to recover from 21 cents. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, whoever bought into Doge, too bad, man. That's why I'm not into meme coins. Anyhow, that's for a whole nother video. This video is about AMP, why I'm in AMP, why I think AMP is going to be one of those long-term investments for me that is just going to be such a sweet, enjoyable time when I look back and I say, man, I'm glad I did what I did with AMP, because I really truly feel AMP is going to be mainstream adopted by pretty much all. You know, XRP was aiming to do that, and oh wow, XRP still, everybody talks about XRP and XRP this and XRP that. Nobody's talking about AMP. That's all good. Because when no one is talking about, oh man, excuse me. When no one's talking about certain cryptocurrencies, those are the ones I go in and I do all kinds of research. And then I determine, there's potential utility for this token. And I got an extra like $5,000. So I'm just going to throw this extra $5,000 in there and hope that the research and the team of AMP pan out. So I really think it is. I think they're forming some magnificent relationships that are going to lead into like utility. I wouldn't doubt that maybe by 2023, 2024, when Bitcoin has its halving, AMP is just going to be one of those cryptocurrencies. It's going to be probably worth near $1, period. I mean, it'll be one of those that has the potential to be worth nearly $1 or $1. And I'm okay with that. 5 cents, if I get to a point where between now and then I can invest about 10,000-15,000 bucks, I'm okay with that. If AMP never does anything and it's only like 12, 13 cents, 15 cents for the next 5 years, that's still pretty damn good. If you take 10,000 and you triple that, that's still damn good. So that's how I think. That's how I make my investments. I take 10 grand, and if in 3 years it turns into 40 grand, meaning I can get a return of 3 times my money, man, I'm good with that. Because again, you can't do that in the banking system. You can't do that buying that new Ferrari or that new Bentley or that new Chevy truck or that new Toyota or that new whatever, right? You devalue your money when you do that. Yes, we need cars, but nonetheless, it's not a good investment, much less a great investment. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. These tokens have the opportunity to do that to your money. And that's why I'm in cryptocurrency, because for many different reasons, but that's the main reason. How can I continue to grow my money so that 4 years from now, I'm better off than I am now? And that's why I do it. You see this haircut right here? I'm just going to point this out real quick. So I do that sometimes. You see this haircut right here? Since I'm 44 years old. I don't know why, but my dad used to cut our hair and he didn't do too good of a job. But I know why he cut our hair. He had 7 boys. We're 7 brothers. My pops worked in the fields. I live in Central Valley, California, where fog and fields is all you see. There you go. Look at that. Fog and fields is all you see. That's that's an orchard, and it's kind of hard to see. And that's grapevines right there. Look at that, and the beautiful fog too. So I just wanted to point this out real quick. I think you'll find this of value. So just hang in there before I hang up. Hang in there. Hang in there. This haircut you see right here. Since I was in high school, I started cutting my own hair. Back then, a haircut was like, I went to the barber every now and then. You go to prom, you're not gonna cut your own hair. You want a nice, you want a nice clean cut. You don't want to make mistakes. I went to a barber way back then. I'm 44 years old. When I was like, I don't know, 16, 17, went to the barber a couple of times. It was like $5. $5 a haircut. At that time, $5 was still a lot of money, because my pops, when he was working in the fields, that was the hourly rate. That was the minimum wage. So 1 hour of work just to cut 7 kids, he had 7 kids, quite a bit of money. Kind of like the same today. I took my son, who's 9, to go get his hair cut about 3 months ago. Thankfully, he's wanting to let his hair grow like Shaggy. And he used to have a really low, clean cut fade with, long hair on the front. Anyhow, my point is, 30 freaking bucks to cut hair. Now, it's not about the money. But then I said, hey, son, check this out. Every month, he doesn't like for me to cut his hair because he doesn't like the way I cut his hair. And it's all good. I respect that. So I'm not even, I don't make it complicated for him. We got the money, so we just cut his hair and we pay for it. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't cut my own hair. And that's $25 a week that I save. So the way I justify $200 a month is my crypto saving haircut money that I throw in the crypto. I have done that with so many different things. I have done that not only in cutting my hair, not eating out, fast food restaurant. The average person spends about probably $8 a day buying coffee. Got my coffee right here. I spend less. I buy my instant or the big old, cost savings coffee that you can pour water through and make your own coffee. Anyhow, probably costs me about 2-3 pennies a cup of coffee. So, and it tastes great. I mean, it tastes better than that coffee from some of those stores you go and buy it from. Anyhow, all I want to say is I take all of my savings, and it's about $1,000 a month. Can you believe that? Between my haircuts and not eating out all the time, right? I eat out sometimes. Not eating out, which is the bigger expense, okay? Not buying myself all kinds of different things, shirts and pants and all this stuff, just stuff that people generally do on a weekly basis. I don't do any of that stuff like on a weekly basis, much less on a monthly basis. So, long story short, my savings, okay, I write this down, between haircuts, not eating out, not buying myself new clothes all the damn time unless I really, really need it. Everywhere where I can save, I save. And it's about $1,000 a month. And that $1,000 a month is what's going into crypto. Now, in a separate video, I've talked about how you can save money. And by saving money, okay, by saving money, you can become a crypto investor without risking anything. You don't risk anything because my family doesn't go without. I just said my kids get their haircuts. Well, I got 2 daughters and 1 boy, so my daughters get to do what they got to do. My son gets to get whatever it is he got to get without me penny pinching all of that. So all I'm saying here is if you can find strategies to help you save money and work on those strategies so that you can pocket that money and take that money and throw it into crypto, and be careful what you throw it into. I mean, don't just drop it on anything and everything. You're going to be set. You're going to be set in 10 years of just doing that. That's 12 grand a year. Last year, I will say this, last year, I was able to invest 15,000. No, a little more than that. Yeah, a little more than that. I think it was like $18,000, somewhere right around there, 18 to 20,000, I think. I haven't really done my books for this year. I'm going to be doing that here in the next 2 weeks. But last year, about that much, $20,000 in crypto. Most of it in Cardano, Polymatic, AMP. What other purchases? I didn't do a whole lot of Litecoin, although I did buy some Litecoin. I like Litecoin personally. I know people have differences of opinions, but that doesn't matter. I like it. I bought some NFTs. Anyhow, all I'm saying is about $20,000 this year. I'm primed to double that amount. Here's why. Last year, I didn't take any profits. I invested, but I also was cutting. Meaning I was finding other ways of being able to save more money by paying off certain debts and downsizing and cashing out on other type of investments. Well, what are those types of investments? Well, I sold my real estate. I have no real estate right now, including my primary residence. I sold a really nice ranch up in the foothills, beautiful home, all of us comfortable, and I did the uncomfortable. I talked to my wife. I didn't just go out there and do it for the sake of doing it, but God bless me and God bless my wife for having such a beautiful wife who understands what I'm doing, who also supports what I'm doing. And that's important. If you're in a relationship, it is important to have a healthy relationship. Do your part by including that partner in everything that you do. Because if you do that, you're going to live happy. Well, that's a whole nother video too, and a whole nother topic we can get into. But I'm very blessed. I'm very thankful. I hope you're blessed 2022. I pray for you. I hope you find value in these things. I think this 2022, I'm going to change my platform a little bit. I want to talk a little bit more about what can people do to eliminate poverty in their life. I see so many of just my people, my native people, my Native American people. I'm half Native American and I'm half Mexican. And in Mexicans, Hispanics or Latinos, however you want to view that, and in the Native American communities, there is so much poverty. And the poverty sometimes is not only physical, meaning environmental, physical, tangible, like money-wise, right? It's also mental and it's also spiritual. And I kind of want to talk a little bit more about that, because it wasn't until I liberated myself from the physical, emotional, and spiritual chains of poverty is when I began to live in abundance. And I think that that's like a really important topic to talk about, because most people tell you what they've done, how they've done it, and how they got there, but they don't tell you they don't explain to you all of the hard work, all of the sweat and tears, all of the sacrifices that it takes to get there. Sure, some of them are lucky and they get there by being able to take a chance, like leaping from the moon and landing on Earth, right? Like that's just a huge risk and chance that people take, and it pays out. Anyhow, I gotta go. I gotta take this call. Saludos. Thank you. Grandma.